Yours? Yeah. No, here. I'll just bring it up. This one? Yeah, join.
Got it.
Yeah, of course. You're the center. How are you?
Just doing fine. You know, I always love to hear like every Wednesday. What is that? Zoom meeting. Yeah, like so busy. I'm still on the field cooking.
Oh,
Can you pass?
I'm just trying to get through here. No, you're all right, my dear.
Hi. Loretta, right?
It's Shirley.
Hi, Shirley. How are you? Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Wellness.
This is the wellness, yeah. Wellness. No, I am looking the product about wellness. It's all about prevention for illness and between you and you. So actually there's something called like this. Thank you. So nice. The name is so nice. Zimbabwe, I love it. Very nice. Very nice. I love Africa.
You've been to
yours on top.
Yeah, I'll just delete easily.
You did the black. I just want to. I really
Very nice. Very nice, yeah.
It's based on a book that I wrote. Very nice. The red lipstick stays on. You don't have to look like
Sorry, just delete my son.
He's a brother. Speak to me.
your
all the time.
Yeah. Because
We
it
will
was like
schedule.
more movies than mom's help. So I was
That's why.
No, the my job is after, spending 1 year in corporate life. Now it's because I'm doing something that is my dream and something I like. So my thing is about, distributing dividends. I only work when I feel yeah, so
So you feel like that. You can feel somebody, I don't
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I'm going to start right now. Welcome to the Women Empowerment Conference, organized by Riyadh Chamber and collaborated with Emirates Sport and Cultural Association. It's my honor to welcome all our distinguished guests, His Excellency Mohammed Al-Naimi, the Chairman of Riyadh Chamber of Commerce, His Excellency Walid Al-Karim, the Vice Chairman of Riyadh Chamber and Emirates Sport and Cultural Association, His Excellency Mohammed Al-Sarab, Director General of الثقافي Chamber. And I would like to welcome our VIP guests and ladies in business magazine. And also I would like to welcome and thank all our sponsors, supporting partners who made this event more special. BA Catering, Astor Pharmacy, Link, الأفراح شوكولاتة والزهور, Venus HD, and MF Fashion Flower. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm privileged to be your host today. My name is Mina Sulaiman. I am social media influencer from الخيمة, entrepreneur and working at Gratis as HSE admin officer. Sorry guys, I have to walk because with this one I can't talk. Behind every successful woman, there is a tribe of other successful women who have her back. Aligned with UAE's vision and recognition that education is key to the economic empowerment of women. According to the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap report for 2020, The UAE was one of the best performing countries and closed 65.5% of its all-over gender gap. In today's agenda, we will have very interesting topics. Ladies in business magazine all the way from Nigeria. Why women are working in different fields. Think like a queen. So, I would like to invite you to put your phone on silent and strap yourself to the right of your right in the world of women empowerment. Before we proceed with an interesting video about Ras Al Khaimah, I would like to highlight some interesting information about Ras Al Khaimah. Before we proceed, Ras Al Khaimah is the 6th largest city in UAE after Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, and Ajman. Ras Al Khaimah was named Gold Tourism Capital for both 2020 and 2021 by the Gold Corporation Council. Ras Al Khaimah welcomes you with the blend of world-class hospitality and authentic Emirati history. With over 7,000 years of fascinating history and culture, Ras Al Khaimah is the perfect way from everyday lifestyle. Let's have a small journey in Ras Al Khaimah together.
Through the sound of the wind, their whispers are heard. On the long journeys through history, their path dates back generations. From their hands emerged craft, and so knowledge illuminated their trail. And from the heart of solid rocks, their tales were told. Tales of triumph from persevering men. They searched, discovered, and accomplished. They achieved the impossible with ambitions that touched the sun. Ras Al Khaimah. 7,000 years of history and glory. Now, Ras Al Khaimah is a symbol of development and evolution. The spirit of nature is flourishing, and from its mountains, new horizons are visible. Jolfa Gulf Pharmaceutical Industries rose from the sand to become one of the most productive pharmaceutical companies in the world and a symbol for Ras Al Khaimah. From hardship came endeavor and a desire to accomplish on a global scale. RAK Ceramics now holds the throne of its industry. And its abundant opportunity attracts major manufacturing from all corners. In its mountains, Ras Al Khaimah found its natural wealth, extracting vast amounts of materials to serve multiple industries. With a multitude of state-of-the-art factories exporting across the world, making a footprint almost everywhere. With its 5 ports located at the shores of the Arabian Gulf, Ras Al Khaimah has become an international gateway for all kinds of marine services and shipping, and its coasts are pulsing with life. At the epicenter is Sakra Port, the largest bulk handling port in the Middle East and North Africa. For those with drive and ambition, they will find in Ras Al Khaimah an established and diversified economy that offers enriching investment opportunities and international standards, complemented by a vision and strategy that has a focus on the future. Ras Al Khaimah is a base for leading international companies, and it has become a respected and reputed place for business, as well as a key exporter of high-quality products across many major economic sectors. The treasures of the past are alive in the dreams of today. From the depths of the sea, traditions thrive. Its beautiful beaches are lined with astounding offerings. Opulent resorts and hotels are aplenty. As if an artist had painted a fine scenery. Wherever your footsteps take you, you will feel happiness in your surroundings and a sense of well-being in a safe, serene, and luxurious environment. Education is of vital importance to Ras Al Khaimah. To invest in future generations, to build an emirate that is enlightened with excellence and innovation. For those who dream of reaching the peak of adventure, they will see scenery like no other in a tourist paradise. When the rays of the sun reach over the mountains, bear witness to a spectacular horizon. To be embraced with open arms. A magical city open to the world. Ras Al Khaimah.
Ras Al Khaimah is one of the supported platforms for sports, having Emirates cultural sports and a club in Ras Al Khaimah is a gym. Emirates Cultural Sports Club, founded in 1969, 53 years as Oman Club, as it's a professional football club based in Ras Al Khaimah. They play in the UAE Pro League after being promoted from the UAE First Division League. Let's have a look at the small video of Emirates Club. A big round of applause. I would like to invite on the stage His Excellency Mohammed al-Naim, the Chairman of Riyadh Chamber of Commerce, to offer us his welcoming address.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, good evening everybody. Welcome to Al-Khayma and welcome to this special forum. Ladies, and gentlemen. Welcome again and thank you for inviting me to share a few words with you. I hope it's beneficial. I'd like to learn from you as much as to share with you what I think of your role in the society. I think your role in the society as ladies is actually more important than us as men. And because you're the mother, you're the sister, you're the wife, and you're the daughter. And today, not only in the UAE, in the whole world actually, ladies has been there in the decision making throughout history. Even though maybe men, they were at the table to speak, but we all know that when they go home, they have an advisor who actually discuss with them what they're gonna say tomorrow and what they're talking about and gives them a better advice. Okay, why is that? Because by nature, when you're in the middle of the problem or in the middle of the issue, you have a different view and you have a shorter vision than the person who is outside, actually. And with that person who is outside listening to you, to tell him about what you're discussing, has a bigger view to reply to you and to give you a better advice. Besides that, I have experienced previously in my life, I was invited to one of those sessions which had a women empowerment discussion. And I attended the whole session and I was accommodated for the last session on that. And I learned one thing. Lots of us to do it. Unless it says somewhere in some book, and believe me, here in the UAE, and if you look at this, first here in the UAE, anything, okay? I'll tell you how women has evolved and became the decision maker. All the pictures from the history from before, it shows that the men, they used to wear lots of carriage clothes, high heels, lots of things, and the ladies used to wear one color. But the women already have taken over all the elaborate colors, beautiful things, and the men switched to become a one color. So you're already empowered, okay? And you already have the power. And we have an Arabic phrase that actually throughout my life I have also learned. which I try to translate it, I'm not the best translator, but I'll try for my own, says the lady is a school, and is a school, and if you actually put the best curriculum, you'll have the best graduates from her school. And it's true, because men is always working outside and being busy the whole day and kept to the house tired. But the lady, she raised the next generation. She raised the next decision makers. She has her influence over them. She has her thoughts in their brains. So don't listen to anybody who actually tells you that you don't have power. You don't need empowerment. You're already empowered. Just take the power. Power is never granted. Power is taken. So just take the power in your hand and move on. Yesterday, I asked my secretary to actually get me statistics about how many ladies in Ras Al Khaimah owns business, and I was surprised. According to the record of the Chamber of Commerce, we have over 1,300 ladies owns more than 2,400 or 2,500 businesses in Ras Al Khaimah. And it's felt great that I didn't really, personally, I didn't know that there is so many ladies owns businesses in Ras Al Khaimah and successful businesses, which is very good. And you know, also, everything that you have seen is being improved. It's because there is a lady. Whenever you come and see something and say, wow, and it's man-made, supposedly man-made, it's called. As a humanitarian, we say it's a man-made. It's actually, there is a lady. Because you also have more, God gave you a gift to pay attention to details, which the men they don't have. And that's a huge advantage over men, because you actually can see the details and what that details could lead to, and how the result would be. So as I said, you're already empowered. Just take it in your hand and move forward. Thank you so much. Sorry if I took long, guys.
Thank you, His Excellency. See, ladies, we are everywhere. We can come in gentlemen's rings as well. I would like to welcome also, who has joined us recently, His Excellency Yusuf Al-Bakran, President of Board of Director of Emirates Sport and Cultural Club. Just big round of applause to him. And now, all the way from Nigeria, I would like to welcome Ambassador Adishola Helen, the Board Director and Founder, Publisher of Ladies in Business magazine, Globe.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Hello, everyone. Oh, it's my great pleasure to be here, and I'm so happy all the way from Nigeria and being in the midst of wonderful people here. When I was coming, a sister told me, she said, welcome to Ras Al Khaimah. I said, no, tell me welcome home. Because when I see a place like this, with people like this, I just call it home, and I feel at home already. Thank you all so much for having us. Thank you all. It's a wonderful journey to be part of UAE, to be part of Ras Al Khaimah people and the government and the chambers of commerce. It's my great pleasure. And Your Excellencies, you have said it all. We are already empowered as women. You know what I'm talking about, Sister Maya. You know, we are already empowered, and the beauty is we are God's blessed gift that we are all empowered with. So we don't need to seek or say, oh, I want this empowerment. Maybe you just need to inspire one another. That's fine, but we are already empowered. So I'm just going to go quickly to make my speech, but I need to let you know I'm so very much happy and delighted to be here. Thank you very much. So once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, RAC Chambers of Commerce, Emirati Club members, and all protocols observed. My name is Ambassador Adeshola Elinonodipe from Nigeria in Africa, as you may know, and I'm the founder and publisher of Ladies in Business magazine. And from this magazine, we tell the success stories, the struggle stories of all the women globally from where they come from. We don't have a tribe, we don't have religion, we don't have tradition. Because I realize that every woman everywhere, they are all going through one thing or the other. In fact, let's just go back to a short story of how I have to have a place called home in UAE. You know, back home in Nigeria, when I, got the motive to start the magazine, because I want to see every woman being seen, heard, and recognized for all the effort of what they are doing. And I said to myself, do we have to wait for folks to call all these women one day, which may never happen? And I realized that success is an individual thing. Your own kind of success, of measurement of success, may not be mine. My own may not be yours. So why do we have to have this standard? Of course, it's good to have the standard, but again, it's a lot of pressure for the women out there. They want to attain the higher, the higher place that they want to be seen to say, oh, okay, I am here. And I said, can we have a platform for them to have good ideas for innovation that will eventually bring a great change that they are looking for? And I said, let's create Ladies in Business magazine. And it was done in Nigeria 4 years ago. And I came to Dubai here, and I met all my wonderful Emirati sisters. It's been wonderful with them, because I realized that the same thing, the same motive, the same intention that I had back home in Nigeria is here. And I said, why not just go ahead and continue? And that was how I decided to establish and continue the journey of the magazine here in the UAE. And I tell you, the rest has been a glorious history. So, the magazine, like I said, is for every female entrepreneurs out there to tell their success stories and their struggle stories, to let people know that you can be whatever you want to be, to inspire them. And I can boastfully tell you that Limbies, we are territory breakers. We break the barriers and we stop the biases. Because we don't have a tribe, like I said, we don't have a language, we don't have a religion. We see every lady and woman in business of all races and status as one. The same mission, we are actually taking this mission to Saudi Arabia next month by the grace of God. A clap for that, please. And why Saudi Arabia? Because I have seen lots of wonderful things going on in the UAE. And like His Excellency said, UAE has been a great example for other regions of Arab countries that the actual authorities, board decision makers in government, in politics. So if we have all this already, I mean, why not go ahead and expand it? And as we can see, other countries, other regions are copying that. I mean, it's a global phenomenal thing. Women, we have the power already. We just have to take it, like I said, and we just have to make it something. So therefore, next month we're going to Saudi Arabia to establish the same magazine, Ladies in Business magazine that we're talking about. And the process, I mean, the news, the good news is to share, to all the women that you are not alone. Someone can be there for you. Someone has gone through that same process. Someone has been there. You too can be who you are. You can be that person, and you can be more. And apart from that, we decided to launch the premium version of the magazine because we realized that it's not all the women that are into business. Some are in politics. Some some are in the economic structure, some are in the, in government. So we have the premium version to talk about women in, in aviation, in agriculture, in electricity, in different parts of economic sector, in order to inspire young female ones to go into politics also, to go into government and not be scared and just say, okay, you just want to be selling soap or you want to be selling cream. No, you can aim higher and be in great board decision makings with the government. There is no limit to how any woman that is determined can go. And with this, we have our board members in 14 different countries as I speak to you. Apart from African countries, we have our board members from the UK, from the US, Australia, Netherlands, and we have some of our board members here as I speak, even from Haiti. They have all been supportive. Like I said, women are going through the same thing from different regions, from different parts of the world. It's the same story. It's the same, resonation of ideas, of things that they've been feeling together. It doesn't matter the color or whatever. So it's the same thing. So when it's the same thing, why not let us come together? And when we talk about coming together, we just don't have a magazine publication. We have a community as well, nationalities. And we have our president, we have our board members who are really representing the culture of festival of celebration for the women coming together as one, realizing that we've got to support one another. We have to connect, network, and be there for one another. And that She Award was a huge success, and that we had in March in Dubai. And I'm going to use this opportunity to say thank you so much for having me, Your Excellency, Chambers of Commerce. It's my great pleasure. We would love to have more relationship with you from Africa and from Ladies in Business Magazine community with the women. It's my great pleasure to be part of this, and it's my great pleasure to be part of this wonderful moment. Like I said, it's like I'm just coming back home, so nothing is different. Nothing is different for me to feel that maybe I feel out of place. Thank you all so much, and I'm going to use this opportunity to say thank you for your support and accommodating for all our Emirati women in the whole of UAE and in Rasakema also. I want to say thank you so much for having me, for having Ladies in Business Magazine here and the community, and God bless you all. Thank you so much.
First, I would like to share something regarding this magazine. Actually, I knew about it in 2021 by Maya Tawari. Thank you so much for showing us the path how to come out of Ras Al Khaimah. And I just applied and registered in this magazine as a cover page. And guess what? I get chosen for that. And it was my first global magazine with Shola to be in with the all ladies outside of Europe. And that's what I'm going with you to Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now we would like to proceed with awarding. And for this awarding ceremony, I would like to invite on the stage His Excellency Mohammed Naimi. Yes, please. A big support for a woman. His Excellency Yusuf Al-Bakran. His Excellency Walid Abdelkrim. His Excellency Ahmed, please. It's the ladies group, you have to be a big support for us. First, we would like to I would like to invite on the stage Diana Wali, Please, co-founder Aurora Victory, witness leader of the Work and Family. I would like to invite on the stage as well Dr. Mayan Hawari, author of the book Chairperson of Board of Government at Dubai's Tamil School. Ladies, Arifan, where are you now talking to you? Can I please have a seat, please? And I would like to invite on the stage Ambassador Adeshola Helen. Adeshola. I would like to invite on the stage Diana Wild, again please, to have a nice picture as empowered women, to empower us as well. I would like also to invite on the stage our sponsors who made this conference so special. I would like to go with Venus HDML, ladies and gentlemen, behind all the women, behind all the successful women, there is a tribe of a woman. So I can't see that tribe. Please.
Just because we are not home, we are silent.
Again, thank you so much for all our sponsors who made this event so special. I would like to invite on the stage Astor Pharmacy. They have very nice offers and they have very nice activities offers here, so you can have a visit to their booth. Again, Astor Pharmacy. would like to invite on the stage B.A. Hatter and big round of applause for Butena to make the very special. Thank you, Butena. And she is one of the ambassadors of Emirates Club as well. I would like to invite on the stage Sheikha, One More Cafe, who make our mood very special today by providing us very nice coffee. I want to be the tribe, Henry. Flowers and chocolates, and Riyadh will take this honor on behalf of them. Try, please. Thank you, Excellencies, for your cooperation and support for our women proud of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to see more excitement and more powerful strive, because we are going to move now in a very interesting topic. So, women's empowerment can be defined to promoting women's sense of self-worth, their ability to determine their own choices, and their right to influence social change for themselves and others. Now we will have in the agenda panel discussion, something interesting coming. The topic is women and the perspective of development in different fields. I would like to invite on the stage our panelists, and I would like you to support those panelists by having a tribe and having an eye. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I would like to invite on the stage Her Excellency Arif al-Falahi, and guess what? First UAE female national to be in a position of a bank manager in الخيمة. I would like to invite on the stage Diana Wild, co-founder of Aurora 50, business leader in more than 20 years, committee member for Association of Corporate Traders, Middle East. I would like to invite on the stage Dr. Maya Hawari, first Emirati Arab PhD scholar to research very powerful woman, and I feel like I'm a joy. So again, please make a round of applause for our leaders who are here, all over from the However, and Ras Al Khaimah. Normally, I think it's open building, and I'm so sorry people are sitting backside. Normally, feminists, like, it's all about the women. Women are already strong, and it's about changing the way of the world perceives themselves. And I'm delighted to moderate this session, by the way. Women have superpowers in all the fields, and they are spreading positively all the way. I would like to first start with Her Excellency Arifa, because I know you from long time ago, and I know that you are supporting women in every field, even when they started with zero and they end with very big businesses all over Ras Al Khaimah especially. How is Ras Al Khaimah and other governments in Ras Al Khaimah being open to the businesses specialized for women?
First of all, it's my honor that I'm representing today two major organizations of Ras Al Khaimah, which is Right Chamber of Commerce as a board of director for them for the last 9 years, and also the board of director for Emirates Club and Cultural Association for the last 1 year. The good thing about when you talk about the women, especially in the UAE, it's not only Ras Al Khaimah, women has been empowered since then. The late Sheikh Zayed Al Nahyan. He was the one who was assuring that the woman has to have education first. So if you have a platform of education, it's definitely that you're going to shape the woman when it comes to the roles in the organization and sectors. Very in schools, we have women and university. We never have a difference between the women and men when it comes to the education. Assalamu alaikum, shabab. Assalamu alaikum, shabab. But I need your attention if you don't mind, right? Sorry to say that because it's a very important session. When we talk about the woman, we have to be influencer when it comes to grab the attention. So I always make sure that I grab the attention of the woman when it comes to the women's power and leadership. So if you don't mind that, I want to have your attention because I know there are ladies who are coming from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Oman, and it will be our pleasure that we get the best of this session. الله يعطيك العافية سعادتك. الله يحفظك. So when you are talking about the women and how we are successfully has been empowered by the government, especially Ras Al Khaimah, if you can see then the ladies who are sitting here, 50% of them are in sectors of Ras Al Khaimah. Well, I really love that the trust and confidence of the government and the women candidates and not the business to get very strong and very respected roles in the organization. So what I feel today is that having the women in the organization as leaders, as managers, and the decision makers, so today the Black Council will have more than 20% females on the decision board, which is actually, we are matching the target or the vision of around 50. I'm sure that Rihanna will go through the vision of that organization and how our government is not just looking at the woman on the senior or the junior roles. They look at the woman in the very senior roles, which is in the board of companies in the world. Today we have women in the cabinet. Today we have women as ministers. So women is so empowered in a way that they are influencers, they are decision makers. And that doesn't really just become a clear vision of the government. It's not about just being written in the book. So they keep the society silent. It's very important that when they develop a state, I need women to be empowered. They trust the role and trust the effect of the women in this government. So what I feel in the society, what I have seen in the last 20 years is the change only in women Russell Chamber of Commerce, I believe the chairman has clearly indicated how many licenses we are having on the females, which has really made us very proud. It was never that I'll be very honest, that the male-dominated society, which feels the women has the only wife and one raising the children, today they are leaders in their field. When we talk about SME, why are we SME, which is taking care of the entrepreneurs for great nationals, so that they are making the government of Pakistan at home, capacity, takes care of the entrepreneurs, and especially women. Today, out of 1,200 members of the SME, we are having almost 25% as a female representation. So we have to they have changed the mindset of the society from being a normal worker to a business owner. It's not easy to own a business. I mean, many of you have been in the field of the business. It's like you are taking a risk. Are you a risk taker? As a human, as a woman, usually they don't take risks. They always like to have to be equal. But when it comes to the business, she's running the business, she is taking the risk of investing in a business, and she is taking her power. It's not easy that women run a business, and that's why she puts all her effort to ensure that. And I'm very glad that Iraq is doing so great, because in the last 10 years, and they are there for the however, the impact that they have created in the market and that Iraqi women in position, especially when we claim that we don't have jobs in the government, right? And there's for female and male. However, the attention has been moved to have a successful women through these organizations, which is hats off that we are having very great leaders who invest in such companies to ensure that not only male but even females they get support. So today, I believe you have just awarded the females. I just want to I don't like to talk things about when it comes to empowerment. I like to give examples. Ella James was sitting here today who has been awarded. I know her for the last 10 years, but she came to my office because I'm a banker. I run, I manage many of the customers' accounts. She was running a business with one branch. Today she is having a series of companies in the UAE, in the Middle East. She went to Europe, which makes me feel proud that she has started her business from Ras Al Khaimah. Ras Al Khaimah is a platform which we use very you're doing a very great job. So what I felt that at that time, 10 years back, I'll be very honest, I was not confident that Amal will take the business and open her license in Ras Al Khaimah, and she will be a business owner throughout the UAE and the Middle East, and she's a well-known businesswoman today. Her business is listed and worth my millions, which gives us an indication, woman, if she has dedication, that she will assure that she is at that level of the self-satisfaction and ensure that the government and the society will be her trust. So this is one of the things. I'm talking about the Sheikha Al-Ali. Sheikha Al-Ali, one of the examples that she ran a business, she was one of the pioneer businesswomen of Ras Al Khaimah. She ran cafes, which was very well-known cafes at location of Al-Mawasil. What made her so successful was that Expo 2020 put her as a food and beverage manager. This is one of the things that I want to thank her, that she made me Amir Falahi Expo and run the business of food and beverage. It's a big thing, and we are so proud that she is from Ras Al Khaimah. So Ras Al Khaimah, by the way, but I always loyal to Ras Al Khaimah ladies because I know they are so talented. Let's talk about some other things. When we talk about the UAE in a whole, we are having almost 23,000 women, UAE nationals by the way, UAE national women who have an investment of 50 billion dirhams investment, which run a business in such a huge and participating in GDP of the country, which means they are so influencing when it comes to the SME and corporations. So this is basically Muna, and to be honest, you are one of the people who are from Ras Al Khaimah, and you are promoting the name of Ras Al Khaimah, and you also run Blinks, as I know, is a business owner, which what makes people, apart from their work, which is the routine work in the government and the government private sector, they go on the business because they believe that the business can make huge money. But what we have to do, as long as you take a risk, you don't get the revenue. So if you are the high risk taker, then you get the high revenue. If you are very conservative, then you are going to lose because that will not be your platform. So thank you.
Actually, I would like to thank Arifa because when I started my business, I remember it was like, I was thinking, it was 2020 and I was pregnant. And I was just giving her an idea that I might just have to start a business, and she directed me to Chamber of Commerce and to have an SME license. And guess what? From that 2020 till now 2022, I have one branch in Manar Mall. And for one project, I have now 8 projects, and I'm working on the other projects. So when you have we are here panelists. Anyone who would like to have networking, we just have another room there, so they can have an networking there. So we would like to concentrate on very important topics that we are doing. All the way from Abu Dhabi, and she's having very interesting topics. But personally, I would like to know about these businesses. Yeah. In 20, only 3.5% of boards for UAE listed boards were held by women. Aurora 50 was founded in 2020 to accelerate gender balance in boardrooms. What is pathway 20 like, and how does it help?
So firstly, thank you so much for this. It's been a huge part of our journey, actually. In 2020, I co-founded Aurora 50 with Sheikh Hisham bin Sultan in Abu Dhabi. We were looking at what was happening within the boardrooms of the UAE, and honestly, it's a global problem. It happens everywhere in the world. And we could see that there was this huge disconnect. I myself come from a background where I've worked in the finance industry, where I've worked in tech, and I started my own days actually in the military. And there weren't many women that were working in those environments. When we were talking, myself and Sheikh Hisham about this, we had this realization, this aha moment, where she said, "Look, I know all of these amazing women." And I said, "Well, my life isn't good." And so we realized that this was likely to be what the issue really was, and that's what we kind of looked at for the boardrooms. So we tested our theory by going and speaking with CEOs and with chairs and with board directors and trying to understand if actually they had the connections that they needed as well. And what became very apparent was that there was a huge pipeline actually that was building, and that this pipeline wasn't connected to these boards that really want the very, very best talent. So the reason why boards essentially want that best talent is because it's a strategic asset. It's because it means that your business performs better. It means it makes more money. We started with Admiral as our own partner. We work with a partner at the EGA, very, very large institutions. We take the very, very best women from those organisations and we support them. And what we do, which really drives the difference, is we network them with non-executive directors, with other large institutions and listed companies. And what that does is it provides access. And so the women get to showcase how brilliant they are in front of people that are already holding board seats. So they will come into these environments where we create a safe space for them to talk about all level topics. And the women just naturally shine. And in doing that, the seasoned board directors, those that are holding the seats, look at these women and go, wow, I want some of this in my boardroom. And that's why the Accelerator Pathway 20 has been so successful. So we actually have a number of appointments for listed boards, but also other independent seats going out to the private sector. So if I take the first group of 10, 80% of those are now independent directors within the private sector, and 2 out of the 10 are also holding listed board seats as well. So it works.
I would like to They can take on everyone. So what kind of companies do support women?
Sure, so I think first off it's really important to realise just how much money this is worth. So if we actually achieve gender parity in the UAE by 2025, it would add an additional $101 billion to the economy. So that's about like 16% to the GDP. So that's huge. So why would businesses not want to do this, right? This is really, really important. But it's important at every single level. It's important in the boardroom, it's important in C-suites, mid-level, all the way through this pipeline. We have to achieve balance, right? To do that, and the reason why this works is you create diversity of thought, and that encourages innovation, it increases performance. These are all business reasons for making this happen, but we have to understand why perhaps some of these things haven't yet already happened. So, you know, companies have to encourage women to take positions where they get exposure to managing P&L. So entrepreneurship is a great one for that too. But they also have to be leading these businesses and getting that experience to be able to end up being the CEO.
I will try to manage some. Yes, you want to do it. Just trying to write something.
You already
Thank you.
يعني مو ألف سكرات.
I was like watching that morning. I don't want to go to the work. I would love to have my own company and CEO of my company. Just to have that feeling that you are a CEO, really. But I feel like every woman in this room, I think she is the CEO of herself, right? That's right. So now we have the queen of emotional intelligence. My opinion, a part of being successful is society who gives you a push to success. A part of being successful is society who pushes you to a success. So, please.
Would you like me to add on to that? How society makes you successful? Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. So, well, I think we just have to go back to how we started, as we mentioned. So, about about 2017 when I started in the Houston program. I chose to go into emotional intelligence because of the depression I went through for 5 years, a lot of people know this. And that was the source of my choice of topic. And I felt that through emotional intelligence I would be able to connect better, not only with people, but in my craft. So the people, today we're talking about business, and we don't realize that to be able to lead a business, you need to have high emotional intelligence. We depend on society. We depend on building teams. To build teams, you need to know how to lead them. What people lack is how to be led. We feel that if we are in high positions or leadership roles, that is one way, it's not a two-way street. But with emotional intelligence, you realize you need to hear and listen more than speak. So you depend on society a lot, and to be able to be led, who needs you? Your team members. To have that humility, to have the space, to have the patience, even the encouragement. Because without them, you are not you. So that's how I started. That was the source of why I went into emotional intelligence. And then I realized that as we go, we grow older. We go back to the basics. I want to say that we're old, but it's a matter of fact. Right? And I also realized that with the pandemic that we went through, the technology that we had to use and abuse, we needed humanity more. We needed society to connect.
So we use technology to go back to the basics. So at the end of the day, you can't live alone. You need one another. Thank you. So in emotional intelligence, as I went through research, and I know that all of you know that Daniel Goleman is the author and the father of emotional intelligence, and he was the first one to highlight it in 1995. But as I dug deeper in my research and my PhD, you will be shocked, but maybe not really, to know that monotheistic religions, the prophets that came, are the source and teachers of emotional intelligence, because they teach you something called ihsan, which is giving. If you want to be a leader, you have to have that source of a giver. It can't be just be about the money. Money is great. You need to put food on the table. You need to be the person, you want to achieve who you really are. For you to be there, you need to go down there. And to go down there, a lot of people are afraid to even touch on their souls and literally fix it, if you may. So, from PhD to influencing on social media, I didn't mean to become an influencer, by the way. It was my PhD program that forced me. And the only thing I knew was to take pictures and post. At that time, I only had like 600 followers. But with the PhD research, they asked us to do something with technology. So I thought maybe Instagram would be technology or LinkedIn. And I remember my professor at the time, this was in 2017, she used to say, she was 60 years old, she was a Malaysian. And she told me, Maya, the way of the future is micro-learning videos. Micro-learning 30 seconds. And here we are, fast forward 5 years later, your attention span, by research, is only 6 seconds. And you feed through it. If you're not caught on the first 6 seconds, you're done. And by the way, first impressions, 4 seconds. So if you want to make an impression on somebody, you have 4 seconds and that's all you have. So it's that bad. It's that. So you have to have the proper shoulder to carry who you are, the personality, the charisma, and all that comes in when you look inside. Thank you so much.
Every second I have a saving. The first thing that I wake up, I see her profile in Instagram. She's posting very positive things in her story. And the good way that to have really positive power and more, you have to see her videos of 30 seconds which she made in Ramadan. And I was so excited, honestly. It was so exciting videos, something really different idea. And she's empowering a lot of women out there, especially because she is, by the way, before that we have very beautiful abaya brand. And that I have to say because I'm fan of her abaya. Thank you so much. Let's go to all the way from Nigeria. Ambassador Aisha Helen. I'm a big fan for your magazine, as you know, from 2021, as I was the part of this magazine cover page in 2020. Please highlight how magazines are helping the business support you.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Role Model. I don't know if you know that. She's my role model, often coming down. Yeah, when you have women like this that you can learn from, you're going to go far. And when you're going through issues and obstacles, you're going to remember what they've told you, so you'll be ready to face whatever is coming with you. So thank you once again, Maya. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you for everything you're doing. I'm a fan also, you know that. Thank you. Yeah, going back to say what has the magazine got to do with the women. I mean, we've all been talking about different angles of how we'll be impacting women, empowering them. It's like an ingredient that you want to cook. You have the Maggi, you have the tomato, you have the sauce, you have everything put together. At the end of the day, it's going to make something that you can eat and you love to eat that. And the magazine side is actually coming from the media side, because there is no way we can talk about empowerment or business development and will not mention social media. So I come from the media side that I'm using the platform of the magazine to empower women. And like I said earlier, it's about, giving them that self-esteem. I think in Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of womanhood, he mentioned self-esteem. There is a way that you give a part of the work that you know what, you do well, you can do more. When you see yourself at the cover of the magazine, so many times I've gotten the compliment, the thank you message that, you know what, I don't believe this can happen. Even me, I don't believe the magazine can happen. 4 years ago, when I had it just at the back of my brain that, oh, I want to do something, I just want to do something, and I made the research and I couldn't get it, and eventually when I saw the magazine, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. So 4 years ago when I started the magazine, when the hard copy actually landed in my hand, that was there, and then I believe that for everything you're dreaming of, as long as you can dream it, it can happen. All you need to do is to be, putting all the effort, the passion, the determination, and everything you need to make it go. So self-esteem is something that I realize that we all need as women. Funny enough, we are all skillful enough. If we are to search in this room, there is no woman here that is not doing one thing or the other. We are all powerful already. Yeah, so we just need something to lift us up to be on that platform to achieve that success that we need. And that is all what we'll be talking about here. So that's why I created the magazine, for them to be seen, heard, and recognized, and also to reign and shine. And at the end of the day, you realize that you can be much more for yourself and for your business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, regarding this magazine, I got to know from my Hawaii at that time, because she was posting the Roshi Awards at that time, 2021. I was so excited to come out of Ras Al Khaimah and move on to other Emirates to just let the people know that we are working in Ras Al Khaimah and we are working so hard, and the government is working so hard to push us to go outside of Ras Al Khaimah as Arab people. And I remember when I went, I was thinking like it will be a normal, I'm sorry about saying that, but it will be a normal party type things, because I didn't know that it would be a big ceremony to celebrate women from all over the world, and to have at the same time, the same place, She Awards. And the She Award which is given to each and every woman without assessment that she have a business, even a small businesses, I don't know.
Yes, that's the idea, because I used to tell people that there is no winner, there is no loser. At the base of stage of every woman doing their own business in their life, the opportunity you have, I may not have it, okay? The opportunity I have, some other people may not have it, but that doesn't mean that they're not trying. And that doesn't mean that they're not working hard. Just like what you said that, you want the Sakima women to be seen, that they're working so hard. So it's an opportunity for them to be seen, to be applauded, to be rewarded, that you know what, you're doing so well, and you can do more, and you can achieve more. So that's the essence of She Awards. There is no winner, there is no loser. We are all winners at our own capacity.
And this year, in 2022, when she made the award ceremony, She Awards, and I put my Snapchat and Instagram that anyone from the ladies in Ras Al Khaimah, they want to have this award, they can participate, and we bring maybe 10 ladies from Ras Al Khaimah and Dubai to join, locals to join this award, and it was so super, to be honest. And I'm so proud that there are ladies who want to come out and to present themselves and their Emirates and so on. Moving back to Riyadh al-Falahi, is there any relationship between personal character and business?
To be honest, see, if you want to be a businesswoman or to run a business, there are certain personality traits you should have so that you can affect your business. It's very important that you have to be openness to business or to success. And how is that? Like, you have to be imaginary person. You have to be a creative person. You should be a person who takes risk. You should be a person who does something unusual. Then you can be a businesswoman. Because today, if you do a normal business, compete to your colleagues, then you're going to fail. Right? I know for a fact, when people they say, oh, when we do business, we are failing. Of course you will fail. 10 coffee shops, same concept, same products, and limited number of customers. For 2 customers, you don't need 10 coffee shops. And for coffee shops, you should have a creative. There is something called competitive advantage. But if you don't grab the attention of the consumers, then you're going to fail. So these are the personality. If you are a thinker, you do something different, unique, then at least to the market the consumer. Then they will search, where is Mona, because she does something different, right? Because today coffees, I believe hundreds of shops do the same coffee. Same suppliers, different buyers, but the same things, right? If I take same coffee every day, then I'm gonna get bored. So it's very important that we do something different, creative, because today, while we are having intelligence, artificial intelligence, while we are having like creativity, we call, like we need someone who very creative and there's jobs assigned to such roles. Why? Because people, they don't want to go to the same routine. They get bored, right? So this is one thing. In the business, you have to be more creative and you have to be, aligned with the trends. Like you don't have to wear abaya which is designed 10 years back in the market of 2022, right? Not the same material, not the same design. That's why you have to be creative with the trends. So this is one of the things that makes you successful, and this is your personality. Are you imaginary? Are you a creative? That has to be your personality. Second, when it comes to the reliability, are you a person who we can rely on? Are you a person who are a goal-oriented? Like I have a goal-oriented that I have to be one of the top 10 coffee shop owner in the UAE. How is that? You have to do a study. There is a visibility analysis, there is a study of the market, you have to be a creative, you should do something out of the box, right? So you can reach that vision, which is to be top 10 in the UAE. So are you good in that? Are you a visionary person? Are you a goal-oriented person? Because in many of the situations, when you are in the business, you see so many obstacles. You see so many interventions from outside, right? How are you going to focus? It's not easy. Because you will have someone who are resigned, someone who has problems, something happened, or you are affected even by the market. So how you are going to assure that you are pulling back your focus to achieve that goal? So this is one of the things. It's all in your personality. It's, am I able to control? That's one of the things. Then when it comes to extroversion, it's very important that are you a people person? Are you a talkative? Are you social? Because if you have the connection, it's all about the network. When it comes to business, it's all about network. You cannot work in the isolated environment. You should have a good approach or relationship with the buyers, suppliers, market, customers. Because I have seen many of the business owners who goes to the floor to see their customers and they talk to them. And they are business owners. Why? Because they want to have that feedback. As long as you are connected with the people, you might see new suppliers, you might see new opportunities, you get engaged with people, you see how people they think. Then you can go and change accordingly to your organization when you're in business. So this is one of the things. Are you a social person? Because I know many of the people who would like to do business, but they don't go out. No one knows them. They are not able even how to promote themselves. It's all about the marketing. So about the network, right? How am I going to know a good suppliers in the market where I'm only depending on one supplier and I'm not able to be connected with others? And then we have in UAE, we have huge networking sessions where we get such network on a free. Am I grabbing such an opportunity? This is one of the things. When it comes to the agreeableness, am I a person who listen and agree to the people? It's about the win-win situation. We might have conflicts in the business. Maybe my staff, they will give me some information, feedback, because they feel they are smart, they know better than business, they meet the customers. Am I good enough to listen and argue or get the feedback from the buyers, and are they able to influence me or am I going to influence them? So what about the information, background and knowledge that I have? So these are very important things that if we think about it, we will have win-win situations. And again, I should not be saying, yes, you are right, and I have no clue what he's saying. Then I'm going to ruin my business. It will finish. So these are the things. Am I a person who connects with the people and understand what they are saying? Are they good enough that I can trust what they are saying? Are they knowledgeable? Are they trustworthy? These are the things which I have to think about. When I'm talking about the emotional sustainability or stability, in many of the businesses, you see ups and downs, right? You might fail in something, you might have issues with the people management, you have some losses, especially when the crisis comes like Corona, right? And now another issues of the diseases coming worldwide, and the oil prices goes up, and the import and export. How I am intelligent enough as a leader, to control my stress, control my emotions, and I know that's connected to you, Ms. Maya, okay? How it is, as a leader, how good I am to control. In many of the occasions and many of the situations, being, members of many of the companies, I have realized there are leaders who get stressed under stress very easily, because they don't know how. They are good as a human being, but they are very much like, under the stress. They take the stress very easily. They don't know how to control. It's very rare that leaders know how to control. Like if they're in the problem, do I need to shout? Do I need to be aggressive with my team? Or I have to take it a little, a while, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 day, 2 days away from the team, from the people, that I can really go and study what's happening and put some action plans. Am I a good decision maker at that time? Here in the obstacles, the leadership skills. When it comes to the situation where I am in a difficulties, see, everyone will be successful when everything goes right. I'm sure, everything, when market goes up, everything goes, you have a huge number of customers, business is going, you have a lot of suppliers, buyers, everything's going well. What if you're in a situation when there is a crisis, when you have obstacles and you have problems, how good leader you are to control your emotions, put some good decision plan so you get successful. And I'll tell you very honestly why I'm saying this. During the crisis, UAE and the government of UAE, they were so smart how to grab that opportunity of the crisis to become as a role model for the countries of the UAE. How they can control the health, how they can control the emotions of the people. We have almost 200 different nationalities in the UAE. How you are gonna convince those people that in the UAE you are safe? There is no matters about the food. Your food is guaranteed. There is secured. You will get the food. Although UAE is a country where export a lot of food, but when the leader comes out and say, "Let's have means, you don't take any pressure, right? We are there for you." Such leaders. When such leaders give you that trust, and that's emotional intelligence, then very easily you put that cascade to the audience, and audience will go and replicate that with actions and agree on what leader says. So these are 5 personalities or personal traits, Muna. If we work very hard on them and focus on them, I'm sure that any business can be succeeded.
I remember when we said that our leaders, when they say something, that we have to obey what they are saying. I remember when in 2020 they started to have the the barriers, and they say that after 8 o'clock we should not go outside because there is something that they will do for the COVID-19. And I think also we got a little bit depressed at that time that we will have our limitations, we will not have freedom and everything. But on the other hand, to be honest, I think we are the only country who did the best in controlling COVID-19 by the society who was obeying the leaders by really not going outside and really obeying the instructions it is given, because we trust that our leaders will not say anything which will affect badly. That is the most important thing, even in the business. Because I started the business in COVID, I don't have these potentials or the points that you said. I will never start my house. So this is a very nice point that you have raised. Going back to Diana, finally we have guys here, we have gentlemen. No, but I have a question for them. Yeah, we do have. We have one question for you guys.
You are lucky, the only one. Sorry, I have not seen.
What role do men play, and why do we need male allies?
Come on.
Sure, you can rewind. He's very, very keen to make sure that he's seen with me and with this number of women. I think Arifa actually touched on a lot of this, right? The networking side of things is really, really valuable. And currently, if we're being realistic, when we look at the number of whether it's men women in boardrooms, in running businesses, we're still not balanced. To be able to achieve that balance, we can't do this just working as just us women. And I'm not saying that that's not, we must do that as well. We have to support our sisters, 100%. But realistically, when you're in business, you don't just work with women or just with men. We have to work together. This is humanity working together, right? And the men that we work with have the ability to accelerate our careers as well. They can connect us to people that sit outside of the networks that we currently have. They can make you more successful. They can champion you. And we hear about this all the time. Arifa was telling me before we came in, she doesn't even know the names of the men that put her forward for her board seat. That's what it means to be a male ally. It's making sure that when those names aren't necessarily being put forward, that's what a male ally does. So whether that is sitting within a corporation where you'll see senior leadership actually saying, well, there's a new project coming up. What about Mona, or what about, this is what male allies do. They make sure that they advocate for the women that are in the business. And this is where it's really important that we have those relationships as well, so that we can actually make this change.
I would like to ask one thing for the men. Even personally, if you are a businesswoman and you're having business, but you have a supportive brothers or husband, that will make a difference. Honestly, if I'm not having a supportive husband, I don't want to do the census actually. If I don't have a supportive husband, maybe I will not be sitting with you guys here. Because really, having a partner, even brother, which is a brother, father, or husband, is very important in your life, like away from business things. Yeah, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and I choose I want to add with that, even in the magazine, we have a segment for men. So there is no way we're going to cut out the men out of us, for the business that we do. We have to get their own opinion of how we should relate in business as a woman doing business. So we need them. There's no way they can do without us, and we can do without them, I think.
See, there is a section for you guys. That's great. Going back to Maya, the question says about the emotional intelligence, like how we can use the emotional intelligence in setting up this.
Again, we go back to the main point. You have to be very aware of who you are as an individual. what do you want in life? I believe that you need to be able to describe who you are as in terms of a SWOT analysis, if you like. So people think that SWOT analysis is just for business, but it's one-on-one emotional intelligence. Unfortunately, people don't like to do a SWOT analysis of themselves because the one time they're going to start looking at the negatives, it's when you're going to literally, and I don't like to use the word hate, but you could hate yourself because you have to really dig deep and try to really contemplate, if you may, on the issues that are blockers, that block your thriving, and block your business, and block your success. So, beginning with yourself, try to understand who you are. Ask the question, who am I? Analysis, the best things that I have in my personality, who am I? The beautiful things. I remember I was training once, and I asked this question, can you describe yourself and say, what's the best thing about you, just one thing? And a beautiful lady said, well, I know I'm beautiful. Like she's stunning, mashallah, she was beautiful. But what she didn't know is that every person is beautiful. It's just the ability to find the beauty within and bring it out and be confident. So to be able to start a business, you need to understand who you are as an individual, and be able to realize that we talk about women entrepreneurs and womanhood, and I want to add a point where we talk about men. We believe that unfortunately there is this view that womanhood, women only in society, men, no, bad men, whatever, even if they don't say it, but they want that, The issue with that is that the fact of the matter is that this universe is made to have both sexes, male and female. It wasn't meant to be just one. And the reason being that we support each other. And the sooner you realize this, the faster you'll be able to focus on who you are and who you want your partner to be and what you want your partner's role to be as well. So that helps you in emotional intelligence as well. And then last but not least, understand your audience, because the second part of emotional intelligence is not just understanding yourself, but it's also understanding who you cater to. So who are you actually producing products for? Understand them, understand what their needs are, and I add definitely to what you were saying is that go down to the people and talk to them and be there with them and see what is it that they like and what they don't like about your product. And to add to say, people, as business owners, I know, this is my abaya, by the way, that I'm wearing. It's a Nudist center, by the way, and please guess it is an advertisement. I'm advertising now that my line is in Nudist center. Okay, so yes, it is tough to hear the bad side. It is tough to hear what you don't want to hear, but it's the criticisms that you hear that will make you a better version of you, because you can't live in your bubble. And the sooner you know that you cater to who you cater. Now there is this last thing I will add this point. We look at the big brands, Dolce, Gucci, we look at Bulgari, right? They have their own style. Gucci does Gucci. You like. Dolce does what they like. It's up to you to choose it. Build some character in your own thing you need to understand. It's not always about giving and catering to the people. It's who you are in your brand, in your name. A signature. What does Maya Hawaii official abaya, what is it all about? And it's about the story behind the brand. And that's why Dolce is Dolce and Gucci is Gucci. Thank you. And Maya Hawaii is Maya Hawaii.
I would like to add one point with you, Maya. Actually, there was one time in my life when I started the business and I called Maya. And I just asked her one question. How can I be multitask person? You remember that. And I remember you just told me when you entered today. Because At that time, I was like, I wanted to be a multitask person like her, mashallah, and she is like really wonderful. And I asked her that question, and there was one answer. Can you give me the answer right now? What answer you gave me at that time?
What did I tell you that?
Your answers change, by the way. I'm serious, based on where you are in your life.
I was in my word, and I was crying at that time, you remember? And I called you and told I called you and I told you that how, because I have many obstacles while having a business. And I told you, how can I be a multitask person? And I'm working in a government and I'm having, troubles in the positions and all this. Plus, I'm doing the social media networking and I would like to be more and more with communicating with
If I know myself very well, I will not change my answer. I'll tell you why. To be able to multitask, you need to be super, super organized. And take it one step at a time and one day at a time. You can't do it all at once, but what you can do is plan it. So if you have some time and room for every single activity that you do, you'll always find time to have all of this. And I'm sure I also added that you don't have to do 100%.
That's what I want to
If you do 70% in every area, you're successful.
At that time, if you told me, I just have one product in my line, and I was struggling with my social media network because my Instagram was hacked, and I'm having some trouble with my equity. So after 2 days, I told her that I'm working with a new product, and I promised that I will be successful businesswoman. And today, I was so happy when you told me. What you told me, by the way?
I've always known Mona since she's been in social media. I know she always used to advertise for other products, and she asked me once, how do I want to start speaking, I want to start being on magazines and being in media more, being out there. And I said, I remember, I think I connected you to and then today I noticed, he said, you're shooting up to the stars. You're more than just ambitious, it's beyond that. So I can see the change. It's only been less than a year, maybe. I think it was 2020. No, 2021. That was it. Inshallah, God bless you.
And that's the point, because we have only one person, sometimes one person can change your life because they give you some positive energy. Plus, he did a lot for the ladies who are not especially. I'm not here because I'm moderating and I have to be positive. I'm here because I went through these old ladies and I know them personally and I know what they are doing for women to come out and to be positive to others.
So adding to Mona, I'm not doing something like, something strange or something. What I feel that, usually we do it but in a very limited number of ladies. So we empower them like 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. But what we have done in Emirates Club and Culture Association, that we have formed a committee of 25 ladies representing ladies from media, from journalists. We talk about the social influencers, we talk about the organizations, whether the Iraq Chamber of Commerce, Economic Department, Iraq Aviation. I have almost 25 ladies from representing the government, semi-government, social influencers, media. But we have done it because I believe from an inside that if I will help everyone and connect them to each other, we are gonna make empire of women. Women empowerment is not about just individual. You have to empower them as a group. And what I have done is, because I believe in this community, I feel that I should not empower them individually. I should empower them as a group. Because the impact which gives you as a group is different, is far away from those who are doing individual. So if you do individual, that you are just gonna help yourself. But we are going to do as a group, we are ensuring that everyone within the group is getting successful. And everyone is getting benefit. All the organizations getting benefit from this. Plus, you are bringing Ras Al Khaimah society in a level that everyone starts believing in the women empowerment as a group, not as an individual. So I feel that when we have done it, we started doing that for the last 6 months, and today I believe we have done series of events, series of social responsibility activities. Today, I can proudly say that it's not about women empowerment as individuals, it's about women can empower women. Because usually we ask men to empower women, but we are today not only asking government, we are not asking males, however we are asking even females to empower each other.
You have 5 minutes. I'm afraid we are running out of time. 5 minutes. If you have any question directed to our panelists. Ayan, you have a question? No? The trial is okay. Wow.
I thought the lady was pointing to me. First of all, thank you. It's a really healthy discussion. The one thing that I look at is we can actually do more. So the sponsorship piece, which is what you're talking about, which is speaking about a woman in a closed room where nobody else hears except for people that actually need to hear the conversation, and that's about elevating people. So that's sponsorship. But I take it one step further, and I'm curious as to whether you think this is something that we might need to consider. But impact, and you just touched on it now. So impact is actually about what we're choosing to do today, but the impact is for the future. So how do we actually do that today without talking about women empowerment, because it's actually beyond today and it's beyond our generation. If you believe in your capabilities and you have a vision, then you are going to create impact. And when I said about the 5 percent, and one of them is your character, is you are the one who will ask everyone, or you are by force, you will let everyone, believe in your talents. It's you are the one who are going to sell yourself. I'm sorry, ladies, you are the one who has to sell yourself. Sell in a media, you have to market yourself. You have to go out. You have to get network. Today, I believe almost 80 ladies sitting in this, the conference. If you don't grab the attention of each other and ensure that you are networking with each other, introducing yourself, then you are losing a big opportunity. That's the impact you have to do. Opportunities will be there everywhere, but the impact. Am I coming to the conference just to say hi, bye, listen and go, or am I to be smarter, more smart, to ensure that I'm getting connected with everyone? I believe all the ladies sitting here, they are influencers, they are leaders in their own fields. If I don't take the opportunity to be engaged with these ladies, I'm sure that I'm going to lose a lot of opportunities that might come in the future, but by default, I have lost them. Or unaware of such opportunities we're going to lose such great opportunities. But I'm doing this as per my experience for the last 20 years or 15 years in doing social activities. I assured myself that whenever I go, I create an impact. In fact, first of all, how you talk, the knowledge that you have, how you see yourself, and how you are getting involved with these people. Then again, how you are following up with them. That's very important. And again, when you are representing a company, it's very important that you want that company. Let people be engaged with you. It's a win-win situation. So let your companies get benefit from your connection to the network. That's the impact. But if you don't do that, then you're not doing anything. You'll be as good as the ladies who are sitting in the back office. They are doing their routine job, and they are giving to the home. They're getting their own salaries. That's it. But where's the impact? That's not.
I think this is the only table for this.
I have something to say. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much. That was a wonderful panel discussion. With regards to your question, I would just like to add 2 corrections. What we can do, what you see 20 years from now. 20 years from now, we see our children growing up. And this is the right time to do what we have to do for them. At this age, we should start instilling in them the values that are very, very important. We have to instill in them integrity. They should know respect. They should have love for their country, and they should have love for the environment. And those things we have to instill in them so that 20 years from now, they will be the leaders of your country and our country, and wherever we are coming from. I'm from the Philippines, by the way. So thank you so much for the connection with the Philippines and the UAE. You've been really lovely with my kabayans. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, thank you for the great discussion, and I want to express my sense of proudness of each one of you sitting there and bringing up the importance of women issues to the community by empowering them and giving them the opportunity to enter the business world. Now, my question is about wellness. Since I am a wellness doctor, to empower women or any community, especially in organizations, you need to have healthy women that work in their wellness to increase their performance at all times of the year. Especially women, they are subjected to many fluctuations in their health due to the nature of their pregnancies, their hormones, their weaknesses as less or weakness members of the community. So are you having any kind of collaborations or programs in the near future taking in consideration women wellness? And are you having other programs taking in consideration human resources management system, where it emphasizes the importance of wellness within their systems? Thank you so much.
I'd be happy to answer that. So we're obviously working with lots of very large-scale corporations, and wellness is fundamental in that. I think COVID taught us that. I think the big thing with this is when you're with some of the issues that you're bringing up, it actually brings up inclusion. It brings up inclusive leadership and the fact that you need to have that inclusion to make sure that if you're talking about changing systems, we're involving the right people and that diversity of thought to change the systems so they work for everyone, and that we're actually creating the environments that we want so that we're creating the impact that we need to have. And this one quick point for the UAE is that we have COP28 coming here next year in November, and the biggest criticism of COP26 was a lack of gender parity and a lack of women's voices talking about climate change. If we don't actually create those environments through inclusive leadership in all of our businesses, whether it's through entrepreneurship or the larger corporates, you won't have the wellness that you want for women, you won't have the impact that we need to see, and this is really fundamental. So I think the piece that I look at is we've got to make sure that we have inclusion and inclusive leadership throughout, and this is actually why Aurora 50 is now moving into that space as well.
Thank you. Actually, Kola, would you like?
Thank you so much. Talking about selling yourself, thank you so much. Talking about selling yourself, I'm really creative that you mentioned it's a very good one, and that is why with this magazine, it's not just like a newspaper magazine. I believe a lot of people in the magazine out there, right? But what will make people, the women, to be part of my magazine or to come to my magazine? So therefore, I decided that, okay, you know what? We normally have the normal usual face of the magazine. But with the way I have this one, when you turn to the other side, you have another face of the magazine. So in whatever you're doing as a businesswoman, you have to put a lot of creativity in it. And at the end of the day, you see that you're on edge and you are above your competitors. It's not just go to a coffee shop like you said and everything. Yeah, the idea is to make it very intriguing and interesting to read. We are very, very, so much. We want something colorful, something different, something unique that you want to, grab hold of and behold. So when you open it and get to the middle side, you have to come to the other side and say, oh, so this is it. So, and that's why we make it very colorful and that, so that it's very interesting to behold. Yeah.
There is one last question.
Oh, hello everyone. I am Shirley Lewis from Haiti and the United States of America. I'm so blessed to be here and actually be part of this conversation. I feel like I'm honored and I'm blessed. My question is, if we want to be authentic, like you were saying that 4 seconds to attract people, coming to a new culture, you have to know the etiquette, like know what the values and traditions. I feel sometimes, because I'm a person full of joy, I like to laugh. I love life. When I'm somewhere, if I'm happy, I have to show you I'm happy. You know? Like right now, they give me the word, I need to like scream for that person to acknowledge that this is something grandiose, something beautiful. Yes! I feel in myself, like when I enter a room here, and gentlemen, because the culture, you have to be quiet, you have to be peaceful. I kind of hiding myself behind shell. And then my true self is hiding. Without me knowing, one day at my job I just screamed for something good to happen. Everybody wanted to find out if I was okay. That was a scream of joy and happiness. So here you see me sitting, but I'm not myself because I feel like this is an event. I should be happy. I should be hugging people, like shaking hands, my sisters, my brother, So what advice, beautiful women that you are, you can give me so I don't offend anybody? At the same time, I don't kind of let, when someone hear me screaming, they're not like, oh, she's crazy. No, in America we scream, in Haiti we scream, we happy, we lift each other in different ways. So that's my understanding.
Without the microphone, I would like you to scream like the one who do it. She's so excited and she's hoping that something can hear.
Because as an owner, as a businesswoman, or as a leader in your business, you should know that we are different nationalities. They have different cultures, right? So the good thing about you is that we are in a very quiet society, but to be honest, we love your culture. So this is what comes in. The good leaders, they are mixed with the cultures and they accept each other. It's an acceptance. So the cultural intelligence means if you are in a society, different nationalities, races, religions, and everything, we should accept each other's cultures. I'm very happy that you are living your own life by being happy.
One another is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that we have any other questions? The last question we have to come in.
Yeah, I don't have a question, but I, as a member of Limbis Global, we are so happy for the invitation, so privileged to be here, so much touched and so much inspired. So in Limbis Global, we are not used to keep quiet, as you can see. So we are not competitors, we are inspirators. So we are 141 women plus one man, you know, a brave man with us, you know, 141 women and a man in our group. So they say that you are the average of 10 person in your network. So imagine I have a group of 141 achievers. And I joined Limbis at a day that I was thinking of staying where I am because my comfort zone was so comfortable. But at the same time, it was making me feel I had every success, but I was not happy. I wasn't feeling the success. Everyone was telling it, but no. So I joined Limbis. I met so many precious women. Daily basis, we collect some women. There is an award, there's an achievement, startup, you know, goals. So automatically you say, I need to do something. Or, you know, you say and immediately. And also, be with the women who rise, lifting each other, okay? And at the same time, be with the woman, whenever you say, I don't want to do anything, but they don't give you the chance because they say, sorry, you don't want to do what we want you to do. So I was a community trainer. I was very successful. I was not happy. I quit everything. I became a lifestyle wellness coach. I joined a school, a training. I became a neurology practitioner. I made a brand. Yesterday, I applied for my license in الخيمة. So soon, inshallah, and kudos to Adil Shola, to Mariam Shah for keeping us up and pushing us forward. And by us, we empowered by empowering each other. We love by loving each other. Thank you so much. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. And Mo, screaming.
For the progressive platforms that you are creating for women. I am a new beneficiary of the promotion that you are all selling at the moment to allow women to register their companies here, the Women Empowerment Platform. And it makes it very much easier for us to register. And I want to say that I'm dealing with a lady called Hyacinth from the office that registers companies here. And they are in the process of registering my company here in Ras Al Khaimah. So those are some of the progressive things and platforms that are enabling us, I'm from Zimbabwe, to be able to realize my dream of registering my business here and getting a license here to do all those things that I want to do. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Then we are happy on something.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much. I really want to thank the panelists and everyone who spoke today. You're very inspiring ladies. And for someone who's, I want to say that I'm in my 20s, not to, but hearing you ladies who have been very successful, who have gone through a lot of stages in your life, and coming at this point to tell us about your stories, I think what's interesting for me, or what I would love to see, is I would love to see women in different stages, struggling in those different stages, because I think there's probably I love all of you, but I would love to see a woman who is still struggling to know what she wants in her 20s, who is still struggling to find something. If we can include that, if we can probably remove the gap of age. I mean, I do have friends who are in their 30s, who are in their mid-40s, and they're absolutely best friends for me because we work together, we empower each other. And I think I learned a lot from them, and I hope that we can have more this type of mentorship and this type of inclusiveness to show that women do have stages
And for us, for example, women who are in their 20s like me, we're struggling to manage different things. We're still figuring out a lot of things. And I'm trying to manage a business. I'm trying to be a coach. I'm also a full-time person. And I'm still trying to balance my emotions and know what are the goals that I want to achieve. And so seeing you women inspires me, but I also want to see how we can both work together and how we can be inclusive of different ages and different stages of women's cycle. Thank you.
I'm going to talk about all this so in this magazine also we have a content tag, young female leaders, because they leave everyone untouched. We have the young female leaders category section that will talk about them, we let people know about them, what they're doing. I've been featuring them right from the onset of this magazine, also not just about the men business or ladies in business or about the men. We still have a section where we talk about young female leaders, because like you said, like we know who are the young leaders of tomorrow. A time will come, we will not be there. So you will be coming up afterwards. So we have to bring you along and carry along. And that's why we have that segment in this month to talk about them and encourage them on what to do, how to do, so that they can know go through that process. That's the way
One thing I would like to add, talk about men, even we are 30 years sample, my dear.
Yeah. I was going to say the same, you know, just because we're older doesn't mean we have it all together. I promise you that, so please come and talk to us. You'll be surprised how much we have in common despite the age.
Thank you so much. Good evening, all the beautiful ladies here. It's nothing much, I would not take your much time, but it's from my heart. I have seen all the beautiful smiling faces. It's my second visit to Rajasthan, and today, it's, you know, I just wanted to say this to everyone, that I felt a very touchy feel when I see the Rajasthan females coming up with lots of things. I wish you all the best for all the things coming up. It's from my heart. Thank you so much for inviting us, and we would like to upcome this situation, this moment. Lots of moments with lots of good opportunities. Thank you so much. Thank you all the beautiful ladies here.
Thank you so much. I would like to last question. Halima here. Halima, it's here for Hanan. Hanan, please. Thank you for joining us all over the way from Dubai.
Of course, good evening everyone. My name is Hanan Al-Khalouq. I am founder of Tawazun and author of a book called Seeds of Change. And I'm mentioning them because as I was listening to everyone and to the panelists, I was nodding. And I don't want to be long, but I have a journey of more than 20 years working in spaces with women, from starting the first Lean Circle in the Middle East, that gave me the privilege to meet Sharon Sandberg, to one of the pioneer mentoring, women-to-women mentoring initiatives called the Link, and to retreats from Zimbabwe to Nepal to Sri Lanka. What I'm trying to say is that I've been moving around and trying to understand what women really want. And across geographies and across continents, I found that there's one thing you want, it is not equality. Because it's not enough, and I remember I said that when I was 14, it's not enough, we need to have our own rights that we need as individuals. And working on diversity and inclusion with companies, consulting on inclusive leadership, with all of that, we just think that we need to shift, everything around us is shifting. And for those of you who know me know that I don't use the word empowering women, but then when I thought about it, I use it actually in different contexts. Today, we need to empower our societies and with the business or workplaces with the feminine attributes. The way I look at it, it's not a man or woman, it's the masculine and feminine. It's about balancing, having balanced leaders. It's about using the feminine attributes that are needed for the 21st century business landscape. And in Tawazun, by the way, for the non-Arabic speakers, Tawazun means simply balance. it is really all about balance. And I echo what the wellness doctor said, because you cannot build a balanced world without balanced people. So our 4 pillars, and I echo everything that was stated here. You need balanced people first, emotionally and mentally, so that they can build balanced workplaces that are more inclusive, tolerant, take care of the well-being as HR, so that together they build balanced societies that are more tolerant, that accept other people's culture, include people who have special needs or they are different, able differently, and then together we need to not forget the planet. So our 4 pillars are balanced people, workplaces, societies, and planet. And we were really honored because when we launched the Expo, we had Her Excellency Arifa Al-Falahi with us, and she always supports us, Mona is with us. And this is not my first time here. I love this space. I love being part of these spaces. Thank you all. It's always inspiring. And let's continue the work of building together a more balanced world. Thank you.
We have a member of the President of Berkeley, Abu Dhabi region, who would like to add. Sorry, I'm sorry. No, we are all women. I would like to thank Anka for the invite. To be honest, I'm impressed with the audience, mashallah. I'd like to say that Meka was our speaker at our last event in Dubai, March, right? We are representing women, exactly, the voice of global women. And I would like to extend an invite for the speaker to Your Excellency, and please invite all the ladies. Inshallah, they are all empowered. And I would like to really get most of the event here, attendees. I would like to announce also we are publishing a book we'll call it Voice of Emirati Women. That will include 40 stories for inspiring women, Emirati women. And whoever wants to be participating in this, you are more than welcome. I'll share my contacts with you. I'm really happy to be ladies, I would like to thank you. We have to close the panel, and I would like to thank all our panelists for being here and giving us success stories and encouraging us how to make a business from scratch. Sheikha, yes, of course, a coffee maker. Sheikha, please.
From الخيمة. I am 39 years old, and I don't have any question actually. I just want to thank everyone here who came to join us, all the speakers and the students. Thank you so much, my lady Abba. Thank you so much, everyone. And just I love to talk about business actually. Since 2010 in this field, and I love to talk about it. I love to give free consultation for everyone who just started business. Actually, I have some businesses in food and beverage and hospitality. I have a degree in food science and nutrition as a dietitian, but don't see my body. And I have diploma in hospitality and restaurant management as well. I was food and beverage manager in Expo 2020, and I brought to be a part of Expo 2020. Thank you so much. Actually, in this gathering, really experience the entrepreneurs really a positive power to run back to their business and start getting something.
Yes.
Because I want to say like this, in your business, day by day, hour by hour, this is the main core of success. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
I always say, if you need to fly your eagles, don't waste your time by swimming with us. that every husband, in my mind when I want to close my own company and sit at home and see my husband. Yeah. Thank you.
I feel that when I'm trained, I always want people to have practical solutions, right? So we did this beautiful. What do we use? I've noticed that, matter of fact, everybody knows this, right? Emotional intelligence is higher in women than in men. Agree?
Yes.
But you know what stops us from being successful? You will be shocked. Jealousy. So, we talked about empowerment. We close the door, we shut, we're jealous the next day. Unfortunately, that is a stopper in your way. It's a blocker. See, it's so simple, but we go back to the basics.
Yeah.
So what makes men, although they have less emotional intelligence, is they don't focus on jealousy.
No, they don't care.
They focus because they're just a matter of fact. You agree? Matter of fact. They do what they have to do, and they do it very well.
Yeah.
Right? Our focus is on what others have, and that's the problem that women have. So, leaving today, I think, keep that in mind for you to be able to empower yourself first, but not look at anybody else and envy themselves. God bless you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a small gesture of being empowered. That we have a small cake for all the sweet ladies over here that we have to cut together all. And I would like everyone to join us on this before we close our contract. Please, ladies, and want to be here. Ladies, please join us. Everyone, please join us. They have to join us. Ladies and one gentlemen. Ladies, everyone, please, I would like you to join just a sweet day.
بيقول لك وراء كل امرأة عظيمة رجل.
لا وراء كل امرأة عظيمة مرأة.
قولي ربك أصل الحياة رجل وامرأة.
Can I have the time of 1 to 3? Ladies. Yeah, 1, 2, and here we go. Thank you, ladies. Ladies, another group who would like to come. We have one gentleman here. He should be with us. Other group who would like to cut the cake, please. Of course, he's the one special, one and only right now. Thank you, ladies. I would like you to